Look at that, there's snowing in the mountains. It's raining right there, right above the river. And I'm standing here wishing I had my sunglasses. I just had to take off my sweater. It's hot. Hey, this is to Fairleigh. What up, Fairleigh? I just watched day 15. It's really interesting, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I don't have any sandwich recipes, so that was an awesome sandwich you made. Second of all, I was struck by your economy of words. You say just what you mean. You say just enough to kind of plant a seed or put a seed out there, and then it might land in my mind and grow into something, and I might reflect it back at you, and amongst the community it could something might raise up because of that. Or it might be resisted, like Yellow Groove, like on one of your videos, sounded like you knew the idea you were putting out, being conscious of your health, being conscious of balance and your intake, and it seemed like Yellow Groove's response, or Yellow Groove, your response, if you're watching this, was to resist the whole idea, which strikes me as interesting in itself. Yeah, and I hope that grows in his mind as well, and he thinks more about it. But actually, one of the things, maybe the one thing, just so I don't talk forever, is you talked about people being like a caricature, or just putting forth this high energy entertainer persona. And I think the danger of someone doing that, it might feel like we're mimicking television. Which I think would be a shame. I think that would be anti-tubes for the most part. Except I know a lot of the big tube names end up becoming caricatures of themselves, and dancing the Gangnam Style in large groups of people for the YouTube year in review. And that wasn't my year in review. But I think the danger there might be that people might just expect that, or you might end up thinking that the reason why people talk to me, or the reason why people want me here in the tubes, or at a party or something like that, is because they're like, oh well, let's invite so and so. Last time he came to the party, he did magic tricks for 2 hours until he burned his thumb. He burned the thumbprint completely off. This guy came to a party, did magic tricks, and I laughed, and he got really angry at me. A bunch of people laughed at me. But I didn't laugh because he burned himself. I laughed because I'm he's drinking beer and stuff like that. It was flash paper that he burned himself with. I laughed because I'm what are you doing coming to a party? You've been doing magic tricks for 2 hours. Stop it already. I laughed because I was kind of grateful that it was going to be done with. It was so distracting. It was almost kind of anti-socialization. Not only was this guy not socializing, but he'd walk into a room and start pulling snakes out of his hat or something like that. And you're well, all right, well, we were talking about sailing on the Columbia, and it's something that I'm really interested in. And but I guess we're doing snakes now, so I'll wait till you're done. Except he wasn't done until he burned his thumb almost completely off. I laugh again. I was so happy to see him leave. But I did myself social damage at that, because a bunch of people got mad at me. So he gets invited to parties because people know that he's going to do magic tricks. Or another one of my friends got invited to parties because he has this really kind of host mannerism, master of ceremonies mannerism. He'll walk into a room, and it really doesn't even seem intrusive. Actually, he'll stop everybody talking. He'll get to know everybody. He'll start gathering a group consciousness, and it's just something else to see. It really turns. I watched it because I wasn't a part of it, because I just can't do that kind of stuff. I'd go stand off to the side and drink a beer, but I'd watch people just kind of give up their kind of individuality and what we were talking about, or what these groups are doing. And I was just getting a chance to meet this person. They were they almost seemed relieved that this guy showed up and took the social burden off their shoulders. And I thought the social burden would then land on this guy. He couldn't just go to a party like me and just sit and talk quietly about to girls that really liked his beard. and just wanted to touch it, just all about it. Yeah, he had to be an entertainer. Something else. Oh, so much so an entertainer. Oh God, no, never mind. I won't even tell that. Like I just thinking about some of the drawbacks. But maybe 1.5 topics. Like people monetizing their videos. I could like you're like that's whole thing like running ads, just like a TV show. You're running ads on who you are, unless you're not being who you are. And I can imagine. I know a couple people who I really approve of their running ads on things because they're trying to promote like an idea or a skill or something like that. And one of my friends makes a lot of money, and he doesn't even have himself in his videos. He was focusing on what he wants to share. And when you monetize it, not only does that help him, kind of fund his sharing, but then it also gets promoted. So way more people see this person's great ideas. But I think that it kind of goes just hand in hand with like, being an entertainer and monetizing your videos. And you start thinking like, what am I going to do that keeps people interested? Why do people watch me, for instance? Because no one's going to watch me because I want to talk, to Fairly, They're like, I want to see what Earl has to say to Fairly today, because that's what Earl's all about. I'm not trying to think what will 35 people want to watch today. I'm just thinking, what am I thinking about today? And because, like, really, the only person who really matters. Oh, here comes the rain. The only person that really matters that watches my channel and gets anything out of my channel is me. I put my thoughts on video and then watch them months and years later and think, what am I saying about myself? What am I learning about myself? Who am I? And I wouldn't get any of that if I was trying to be, a magician or a storyteller or a master of ceremonies. And I certainly wouldn't want someone running an ad on my face as if I was some sort of like personal interest TV show, like the Truman Show or something like that. I would do it. Like, for instance, for the tiny house. Like one of my tiny house videos went crazy, and it made me think that promoting like a kind of sustainable living and kind of minimalist lifestyle would have a real value. And I'd probably borrow that idea of like just having not just my voice be a part of showing what it's like to live in a tiny house and how you can do it and that kind of thing. So, well, anyway, Fairly, excellent series. I was particularly fond of number 15, and I look forward to the rest. And I'll see you in the tubes. Thanks for your ideas. Thanks for promoting this discussion. Look at that anthill.